One man's greed tore a fan base, its franchise, and its city apart. The annual result is a team forced to play against its own ghost. In Cleveland in 1995, the Browns were a religion. Since their first game in 1946, they had been meticulously woven into the city's identity. What the Browns lacked in Super Bowl appearances, they made up for with loyalty to a community that saw themselves reflected in a team they loved. But the business of football was changing. Team owner Art Modell also owned the stadium that the Browns and baseball's Cleveland Indians both played in. When the Indians vacated in favor of Jacobs Field in 1994, the blow to Modell's pocketbook was too immense. On November 6, 1995, he announced he was moving the team to Baltimore. This announcement was met with furious protests from the fans, and the city of Cleveland sued the NFL. The city argued that the Browns had to stay in Cleveland until the lease was over between Modell's team and his own stadium, which wasn't until 1998. In early 1996, after extensive talks between the Browns, the NFL, and officials from both the cities of Cleveland and Baltimore, a historic agreement was announced. Modell was allowed to take his players, his coaches, and his front office to Baltimore to start a new team, which we now know as the Ravens. But the city of Cleveland got to keep everything else. The Browns' name, colors, records, awards, and entire history would remain in Northeast Ohio. The franchise would officially be deactivated for 3 years while a new stadium was built, and the NFL guaranteed the city of Cleveland a new Browns team would be on the field by 1999. This created a bizarre scenario. The Baltimore Ravens, on paper a new franchise, were staffed with the entire roster of the 1995 Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, the new Cleveland Browns that showed up in 1999 had to start completely from scratch as an expansion team. One franchise was handed a massive head start, while the other was left to pick up the pieces. The stage was set for a rivalry, but no one could have predicted just how one-sided it would become. From the moment the Browns first came back in 1999, the dominance was palpable. Out of 52 games, the Browns have lost to their former selves 37 times. Just 5 years after the original Browns moved to Baltimore, the Ravens won Super Bowl 35. For fans in Cleveland, that was a tough pill to swallow. The team they had supported for almost 50 years was hoisting the Lombardi Trophy for the first time in a different city. Since returning to play, the Browns have the worst winning percentage in the entire NFL, at 33.7%. They've gone through decades-long playoff droughts, a revolving door of 12 head coaches, and a stupefying 40 starting quarterbacks. In stark contrast, the Ravens have stood out as a model of success. They boast a regular season winning percentage of 57.4, 18 playoff wins, and 2 Super Bowl trophies. The original Browns, now called the Ravens, have consistently and decisively beaten the expansion team that got its name. For Cleveland, it's a painful, constant reminder of what they lost. What do you think? Can the Cleveland Browns ever truly escape the shadow of the team they used to be?